set.
Hi everybody, welcome to our block of the month. We're doing this virtually because heaven knows we're all staying at home right now. But we want you to have your block so you have something to sew, some projects to do. So here it is. This is our block of the month for Riverton store for the month of April. We will be available for you to come pick up your blocks from 6 to 9 on the 3rd of April, and from
6 to 9.
No, it's 6 to 7. I'm sorry. 6 to 7, and then Monday morning from 9 to 10. We'll be outside. You can drive by, show me your block, and we'll give you the next kit for April with the instructions. And so what I'm going to do right now is to show you some tips and tricks to putting this block together. So this is the block that we're doing right here. So this was, once again, you've been doing half square triangles. This is once again half square triangles. Only on this one, you're doing a large half square triangle and a small one. This is 3.5 inches, and this small one will be 2 inches once you get it trimmed up. So this is over here. This is the fabric for the batik that you'll be getting in your kit. This is the fabric this is my 3rd fabric, which will then make this block right here. So I chose to do my background here, or the light fabric here, my additional fabric here, and this is the fabric you're getting. So for batik, this is the one this is my interpretation of that batik block. For your Americana block, this is the 2 fabrics you'll be getting in your kit, this blue and then this background fabric. And then for the block that I'm doing, I've actually chosen to put this in as my 3rd fabric. This is actually a new fabric that we got that I thought was really cool. So I'm using that, which will then make this block right here. So that's the block for the Americana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things, some tips and tricks that you can use to put this block together. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut from your A fabric, which is this fabric right here, which will make this part of the square right here. You're going to cut 4.5 inch squares. So there's my 4. You're going to cut 4 2 3/4 inch squares, and you're going to cut 4 2-inch squares, and that's from fabric A. So from fabric B and C, you're going to cut the same thing, only you're not going to cut the 2-inch squares. So your 4.5 inch squares, your 4 2 3/4 inch squares of your B and C. So you can actually change those and use those interchangeable on this part of the square or this part of the square. So like I said, we're doing half square triangles. So put those aside. So you all know how to make half square triangles. You draw your line, and then you sew 1/4 inch from that line. And then you will cut those squares apart. Make your half square triangle. Now you have your big triangle, you have your small triangle. So I'm just going to show you on these 2 right here. So once you get these done and pressed, you'll then trim them up to this big one gets trimmed to 3.5 inches, and remember we use this tucker trimmer. So your 3.5 would be right here, and so we put the, I'm going to do it this way first. We're going to trim that up, find the 3.5, the 3.5 dotted line right there. Your diagonal line sits right there. And there's your 3.5 inch square. These smaller ones get cut to 2 inches. So you're going to actually go to the solid lines because we're cutting those at 2 inches. So you're going to find this line right here with that diagonal right there on your tucker trimmer. And then you're going to go 2 inches. So these are these are small half square triangles. So you're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think 12 of your small half square triangles, and then the same amount of your larger, your 3.5 inch. So let me show you how you can put this block together. So the first thing you need to do is to put your center block together. So you want to put this block together, which means you're going to do a pinwheel right in here, where you're going to put 4 half square triangles together, and then you're going to match your colors here, which essentially what you're making is you're putting 2 half square triangles together and you're making a flying geese. You see how that flying geese works right there? But you're going to match fabrics together so you get this pinwheel effect right here. And then you're going to take your 2 inch squares and you're going to put them in the corner. So that's how you're going to make this particular block right here. So remember, when you sew this together, that you can actually press open that little seam right there to reduce the bulk on your, because you have a lot of fabric coming into that point right there. So open that seam up, press that open so that you can reduce the bulk on that seam right there. So then once you get this put together, this block should be 6.5 inches when you're done. So measure it. So this tucker trimmer right there is 6.5 inches, that inner line right there. So measure that block to make sure it's 6.5 inches, because it will affect the rest of the block as you put it together, okay? So now you just want to do basically that same thing to the rest of the block. So you're going to put this together. You're going to follow your diagram. See how they have each fabric kind of mirroring each other on each side. So that way, so this darker color here would be this color here. So you see how I'm putting that together right there. And then that goes on like that. So you have these two together right here. And then this will go like that. So pair these up right there as you're putting them together. And then this goes on. And I've already sewn these two together. So you see how that works right there. So you'll sew those two together and you'll sew those to each side of that 6.5 inch block right there. And then and I've already sewn this together, so you see how that goes together. So then sew this strip together and this strip together, sew it together, and you should have your block finished. So that's basically how you want to put that block together. Hope you guys have fun, and hopefully we'll see you all in May. Thank you very much.